How's it going, Sha?
Okay. Have we discussed what does Rochambeau mean?
I don't know. I just know it's what we say, before we like do games of like chance that determine like who starts, you know?
Oh, no,
Like rock, paper, scissors.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's just it's another name for that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I don't even know where I first heard it.
Hmm.
I just know it's a thing to say. Rochambeau.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another.
It is does I don't know. It gained popularity on the west coast of the United States. A
Mm,
theory suggests that it might have been related to the Comte de Rochambeau, a French nobleman who fought in the Revolutionary War. And the first documented use of Rochambeau as a synonym for the game is in a 1936 book, The Handbook of Recreation Leaders,
okay,
published in Oakland, California.
yeah, but who says that? AI?
Yeah, very
Uh-huh.
much so.
So, we'll see. I believe nothing anymore.
Real talk, yo. Somewhere there's a dude in Oakland like, yo, that was me. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean, there's a street Rosham over here, and I caught this dude Bo on the corner. He
And
loved playing
that's
rock,
it.
paper, scissors. That was it.
That's how we did it. Anything's possible. Um, how are you doing? Oh, we're back, everyone.
Amen. We technically weren't super gone. We just didn't do the bonuses.
Mhm.
We gave them the regulars,
Right,
you
but
know?
we had to pre-record them because my floors were being replaced last week. It took the whole week. They needed the whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was, like a living room, dining room, like the living area, because I don't know, can you call it a room if there's no wall to separate it? Just the living designated areas,
Okay.
and then my bedroom.
Right.
Those were the spaces. The other bedroom, that was Kevin's bedroom, those floors were replaced, like, a year ago, because a pipe had burst underneath, and so his floors got warped. And he couldn't close his bedroom door. So they replaced those floors. And, landlord's like, I can't just have these mismatched floors in my house. I gotta replace them. So he had to order more wood, and then he had to wait until his nephew came in for a visit. And then he put his nephew and his brother to work. So they were in my apartment every morning, Monday through Friday, starting at the very least at 8, sometimes
Oh.
7:30. AM. Um, and I just had to be there to let them in, and, I needed to make sure that because they were gonna have windows open and doors open and carrying in and out good wood versus bad and all of that stuff, and then, I have this cat who was very curious, and, I needed to make sure that she didn't just run out into the street and disappear, so I had to take vacation days.
Yeah.
Um, because we're not allowed to work from home unless it is our designated work from home day
Oh.
or if it was like, and this is when the, policy was implemented, or if it was related to, like, uh, COVID sick. If you were COVID sick, but you still could do stuff on a computer, you could work from home. But if you're just regular sick, but you could still do stuff from the computer, you need to take a sick day. I don't even wanna get into how infuriating that is.
Yo, that's crazy.
It is crazy, and just at the whims of the powers that be. Not much we can do about that. So, I had to take vacation days, um, for days to make sure that, the cat was in one place. So, me and the cat and then it was the only room that didn't have furniture all piled up, furniture or wood all piled up, covered in dust. It was the only room that wasn't all of those things. So, Lucinda and I just lived in this extra bedroom for, 4 days.
Wow.
And at night, when they would leave, uh, at night, I would open the door and we'd go out into the rest of the apartment and go, "What did they do?" You know?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So many questions.
Uh-huh.
Okay. First, I'm blown away by the powers that be, the mental loopholes and hurdles that they have to go through to like make that make sense in their end, so that they can
Yeah.
say it with a straight face to you. They're like,
Yeah,
nah, there's a
well,
difference between regular sick and COVID sick.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Um, and now we don't even have, like, we're not doing as much of the COVID stuff as we were when we had, long talks and meetings and came up with this strategy and implemented it. Um, so so even those days aren't like not many people are getting COVID sick.
Right.
So they have to have some sort of uh something has to be wrong, and, right now, what it looks like is broken bones. Damn near a third of my office either is coming off a broken bone or just broke a bone, and so they're like, "I'll work, from home," and I think I don't wanna say I started that, but, definitely last year when I spent, a third of the no, a fourth of the year, out, with a broken bone, I was like, I can work from home. There is stuff I can do
Yeah.
from home." And they were like, "Okay." I can't, you know? Um, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, let's do that because I will go crazy if I'm just sitting here." 1, I'll be bored, and 2, I will be wondering, "Huh, when I go back, are they gonna say, 'Ah, you took too long to heal?'" You know what I
Word.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna be the thing? So, like, let's do yeah, I'll work from home. So,
Hell yeah.
I'm not saying that people are going out and breaking their bones so they have some time to work from home. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I got a doctor that'll write that up for me. Yeah,
Right,
yo,
exactly.
real talk.
Um,
Gastor
but
got 4 bones broken. You know what I mean? They all internal bones, as you know, so you can't see it. You know
but
what I
they're
mean?
right, but
But they
trust,
broken. Real talk.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
240th through 44 bone. I don't even think we got that many bones, but it's those.
but yeah, so, yeah, anywho, I was just here and just chilling. And then on 2 of the days were actual work from home days, so those were days where I was doing stuff. So, like, I had to, like, be on the phone and talk to vendors while they're breaking shit, like, they're like, right next door, and I'm just like, "Oh, boy."
Yo, it's not like this normally, trust me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
sorry
run a
about
tight ship
that.
every other day, but
Yeah, and then the cat was pretty good.
okay.
I have some treats that help keep her calm because she gets anxious, and
Hell
when she's
yeah.
anxious, she licks all of the fur off of her body. So, I have her treats, and we just kinda added a lot of extra treats, but I moved everything in here, like her litter box, her dining stuff, her water fountain, because she won't drink water unless it feels like it's coming from, like, a rushing river or some shit. So, I have, like, a bubbling fountain for her to drink from. Oh, cat. So I had all that shit in here. I
Oh man.
I
Bougie
moved
Lucinda.
I know, bougie as hell. I moved the television that's my TV that was in the living room, I moved that into this extra bedroom, and then remembered that, my old roommate left his television. He was just like, "You can use it if you want. I'm done with it." I'm going to another state. Do what you want with it. And, so I put my TV next to his, and mine is so much smaller. I was like,
Yo,
they're not the same size. Mine's, quite a bit smaller." Well, guess which guess which TV's going into the living room now.
nice. There you go.
So, yes, but, and this room is still it's now, kind of officey, even though it has a huge bed in it. It's kind of officey, uh, and I got rid of what I was working on before, as you know. You helped pull
Right.
it out of here.
Yo.
So, I got a desk in a room separate. That's where I am now.
Hell yeah.
It's not fixed up in any way. It's where all the detriment is from the stuff. Like, I had to take everything out of my closet, so it's in this closet now. I'm having to slowly put things back together, but it's kinda nice because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, well, if I'm going to have to put all of my furniture on its side and then put
Right.
it back down again, why don't I get some new stuff? Why don't I put it down on a rug? Why don't I get a rug or 2? Why don't I move things around? Why don't I really make it feel like, 'Oh, this is where I live?'"
Hell yeah.
So that's what we're in the middle of.
I'm loving this. Listen,
Yeah.
first, I thought a lot about this whole situation you were going through for a few reasons.
Mhm.
Um, you asked for me and the homie Kofi to come over, help you move some stuff.
Right?
You know what I mean? Um, I realized very quickly Kofi and I are in different places in our lives. Kofi, a dope comic friend of the show, he is someone who by day does a lot of like manual labor work. He's really good at it. He knows how to do like, construction work, fixing stuff. He's really
Yeah,
handy.
he rehabilitated a couple of neighborhood gardens,
Yeah,
and
that's what he's
so
known for. He's
that's what
brilliant at it.
he's like as in he was on Ellen's show talking about the gardens he like neighborhood gardens that he built back up, and he has programs, and he's just known in the neighborhood as, like, that dude that always has the correct tool on him or
Yeah,
can get it for you within 45 minutes. So
literally. I
mhm.
think I've said on the show once, like the first convo I got into with him, he was asking how to get a trailer. Like he's just like, yeah, like I need to like move some stuff around this park. So
Right.
like, but we come over to help. He worked all day, so like when it was very quick with the things you needed done,
Mhm.
but like I don't move normally, like at all. Like I do so little moving, and,
Right.
and like just like extra shit is wild. Like any moving I do in my day, like I knew about for like a week or two. Like
Mhm.
I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna be moving on Tuesday next week. Like I know
Right.
about it well in advance. So like Kofi's moved every day for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So both very happy to help, but we're in different places. Kofi and I, once we got done, Kofi looked around like, yo, we done? Because I gotta go recover to do this again tomorrow.
What?
Whereas as soon as we were done, we're like, yo, this was fun. Like, is there more
Yay!
stuff to move? Real talk. I was having a blast.
Oh god.
And it helped me maybe understand what's happening with your landlord and like his nephew. Cause like up until I did that, I couldn't understand like why is this kid he gets a week off probably from vacation from wherever he is. He
Right.
flies to New York, one of the coolest cities in the world. And instead of like traveling at night, he's like, yeah, I go there once a year and I help fix this lady's apartment. You know,
Well,
like
I think first off, I think he's older than we think, and I actually have a theory about that I will get into in just a second, but, he's probably older than we think, and I think he may have lived here for a while and then was
okay,
like, "I don't like it," and went back, and then was just coming back to visit family because before when we'd get work done, he was usually the guy that would come by and do it.
right.
So my landlord for a while has just been like, "My nephew, my nephew, my nephew," and I'm like, "I don't know. Honey, I don't know your family." You know what I mean? Like, "Great, whoever, whoever." I don't know anybody. And then that Monday morning, I opened the door when they buzzed, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Like, "Oh, it's you. You're the nephew. I had no idea." But I also was like, but I remember when he wasn't the one doing stuff on the regular anymore, which I guess is
Ah,
when he moved. So I guess he was back for it must have been some sort of family thing because he had another person with him, and then he explained to me that that other person was his uncle, but
okay.
also my landlord's brother. So I'm like, "Oh, okay, so that's not your dad. That's just another brother." So your dad is, yet another brother of my landlord. This is just an extra brother who's there. Yeah, and so they came in, but, like, the dude, while I'm saying he's a little bit older than you're probably thinking, he
Yeah.
still was like, "Do you mind if I play music?" And I'm like, "Please knock yourself out." So, he's singing along with music and stuff. I mean, they're having a great old time because at night, they're going back. up to the landlord's house, and like when they were done with the work, the next day they had a cookout or some shit. Like they were here
This is
for
awesome.
visiting, but he also was like, yeah, but you also gonna have to put in this new floor. You know that, right? Like, oh,
I'm convinced it's fun. I think he was over. He was back home
mm-hmm.
and he was chilling, having dinner, and he was like, "Where you going next week?" I was like, "I'm flying back to New York. I'm gonna do that new floor." And his other uncle was like, "Yo, for real? I thought I was supposed to do that."
Yeah, right.
And they came
Honestly,
out together.
I would not put it past my landlord to trick both of them into coming out at the same time to do this floor.
Real talk.
Yeah, he
I
really
think.
thinks he's a mastermind that way. He really does. He's not a mastermind that way. He's easily readable. But I know that the machismo is such that
Right.
he needs to feel like he is coming up, making these moves and coming up with these ideas, and he needs to feel that, even though it is very clear that like his wife is running that house. Like it's clear, you know what I mean? Like it's just very clear. Like, yeah, okay, nope, you're in charge. And
Sure, buddy.
yeah, here's my rent check. It's just anywho, so what I wanted to say about the dude probably being older than you think, it's because we keep saying nephew. Now, when you say the words niece or nephew, what's the average age of the person that you're thinking in your head if you don't know who it is? If someone's like, "Oh, my niece is coming to visit," or "Oh, my nephew and I went somewhere." How old is the person? What's the age range of the person you think they're talking about when you say niece and nephew?
For me, I'm going 8 to 14.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I will go as old as like 24.
Right. Like college is cat.
Yeah. And that's how old all nieces and nephews are. So a few years ago, um, who was it that like was wrote a book and make a Trump's niece? I think that might be Mary. I don't think Mary was a sister. Like his sister's daughter. So
Okay.
Trump's niece was out here just like, yeah, he's full of shit or whatever. He's the worst. And she wrote a book and she was on all these, like news shows and a talking head and blah blah blah. And she's a niece and she's like 55 or something like that, 56. And I was like, how is she a niece and she's that old? And then I thought, oh my God, I think all nieces and nephews are young. Of course,
Yeah.
she's his niece. He's 107 years old.
Yeah, I
He
think niece and nephew, I think you're onto something here. That does it get retired?
I don't think so. I think we are just so locked in on the term being young people. It's rare that we meet for the first time in our lives. It's rare that we meet a niece that's in their 50s
Ah,
because the relationship that makes it a niece, we we need to meet that person. And
right,
so
right,
if that's somebody who is a contemporary of ours, then that niece is gonna be younger, we think.
right.
But it's just like there's something about the word, I think for the most part, you meet nieces
That are
and
young.
nephews that are younger because you're like, "Oh, this is their
Yeah.
sibling's child, and their sibling is" like that kinda thing.
I'll take it a step further too.
Hmm,
The other end happens when you get older and you're like 30, 40, 50, and you have less time to hang out with the extended family.
right.
The only older people I see at this point are my parents, and I
Mhm.
see my aunts and uncles once a year. So, like, the other way doesn't work. We don't introduce people to like our aunts and uncles
Right,
as we get older at all. So,
right.
like, yeah, both directions. You're right.
Yeah, it's always, like, young. But then how many times did you ever meet someone who was, like someone your age and they're like, "Oh, this is my uncle," and they're, like, younger than them? Have you ever
Oh
met
yeah.
any Yeah. So, I think about that a whole bunch of just, like I remember meeting someone and their uncle was, like someone we'd have to babysit. Like, I
Yo,
gotta babysit my uncle or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing.
we gonna get some weird Dominican shit if we want. And this is
Look,
my
hey,
bag.
hey, man, my mother grew up with my first cousin. So, like, they
Shy, I think
were,
I
like,
got
a
you
year
body here.
apart, and I didn't understand that for a long time. I was like, "I don't call her aunt," and they were like, "No, no, 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 that's your cousin." And I'm like, "But she's the same age as my mother. Stop asking questions, child. Why are you asking questions? Just don't call her aunt." I'm like,
Well,
"Okay.
just no.
All right."
No. My uncle Felipe, who just passed away last year, that was my dude, sold me my first car as the
Mhm,
homie. He had 3 kids. Okay. 2 daughters, both older than me. One
mhm.
3 years older, one like 10 years older. And he has a kid who I think now is like 10 years old.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Real talk. Like now. Like he passed away. That kid is like new. Like brand new. Like
Right.
he was born here and still he hasn't met like he hasn't been in he's born here, but he hasn't been in school long enough to undo his Dominican accent because he
Right.
was around only Dominicans first.
Right.
So even his English is like back to the island shit. Okay. One of the daughters, I've lost count at I think 6 kids. One of my cousins.
Okay.
Okay. One of her kids has a kid. And that kid, I think, is like 5 or 6. And she has like a 5 or 6 year old.
Oh, boy.
So there's like 3 of them that's like uncle, grand uncle,
Right.
and the nephew, grandnephew,
Right.
all up within 5 years of each other.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like I had to explain that shit to Aiden, who like he is the most straight line person. He's like, Dad, none of this
Yes.
makes sense. I was like,
Yes.
homie, I understand it and I don't understand it too. Like, I don't know how this is possible, but I feel you. It happens.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's so funny when that kind of stuff is happening in your family around you, and then you look at how it laid out for you, and it's like, "Oh, so my mother and father got together and then just had these 2 kids? That's it? There was no
that's
other
it, me.
just the normal pretend
Yo,
like it didn't
no excitement? Come on,
that
B.
was it? No one had one early? No one had one there's not a huge, gap between the brother and the like, the siblings or anything, huh?
Yeah. And it's
Alright.
only weird when other people like find out. Like that's just crazy. Like it becomes just
Mhm.
normal. You know what I mean? Because like they're just people. They just around. They didn't
Right.
choose it. That's just the situation that happened.
Mhm.
And each one of them, each one of the situations is completely understandable. It just so happens that 3 of them landed in the same
Right.
chain. So like it's a wild situation. You know what I
Right,
mean?
it looks insane. The tree looks insane.
Yeah, that tree over there look a little crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's it.
it looks kinda wild. And then it doesn't matter because if someone asks who that is, you're just gonna go, "That's just my cousin.
Yeah, like after a while, just yeah, it's my cousin. It is
That's
what
my
it is.
cuz." Yeah, I can't even get
I don't even
into
notice. Real talk. I told her, the mom, who's the cousin, she's 3 years older than me. So we kind of like grew up together.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I love you. Real talk. Love most of your kids. And she was like, you love most of my kids? I was like, I lost track of the last like 3, my G. I don't know who they are. I love the older ones.
The what
I don't
yes.
I love the idea of more.
Mhm.
I
The
love that,
idea I
but
love
like
the
I ain't
idea of
gonna lie to you,
more.
like I'm like connected. I bump into her all the time. Love giving her hugs. Love talking with her. She's beautiful energy. And then she tried to catch me up on the kids, and every time I feel like I hear a new name. I'm like, I don't know who this is, my G. On God, like real talk, like that is news to me. Word, you got another person? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I like, and come to think of it, I have to do this. It's been a minute. I am dying to go visit because I
Mm.
don't know how this works logistically. Like, there's no apartment. They live in my neighborhood. I don't know what apartment in the world has
Right.
these bedrooms. Hey, real talk. I am
Maybe they
dying to
took
go over
over a
there.
whole floor. Maybe
Real
they're
talk.
just
Real talk. And I gotta say, no bullshit, happiest person I see on a regular basis.
Yeah.
She's like full of joy. Her husband fire. The kids are legit good peoples. Oldest
Mhm.
one just finished up college. I rock with them. But
Right.
yo, it is a situation. It is people. Don't start no fights with them too, B. They roll deep.
Yeah, it sounds
Just
like.
cause.
I mean, it sounds like the crew I want on my side.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. But in like 10 years, that's who I'm calling to fix my floors. They coming with everybody.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And make
Real
sure there's
talk.
at least one handyman in the group.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad your apartment is back to normal. I am also
Yeah.
happy to hear that you're like you're using Kevin's old room. We made a big push for that while we were there. I
Yes,
want you to
you
make it an RT space.
yeah, you did. I don't think it will be the artsy space that you guys want it to be only because I'm like, I'm not that artsy. I'd never be in here with the plans that they laid on me. I don't think it's really, but I will. I mean, after after next weekend because actually Kevin's coming for a visit and so
Oh,
he'll
that's
need
what's
to.
up.
And then after that, maybe I'll rearrange it in such a way where, I won't have this it will look different.
Okay.
There will be something else, some other situation, but I
Cause
don't
your
know.
apartment has a nice vibe. Like I like the stuff that you had like set up in the kitchen and in the living room.
Mhm.
I tried to take you made moves. I tried taking pictures in your closet for the
Oh,
listeners.
right, yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
once I have that set up and, that's also a thing that I have to do every year anyway, is just go through the closet and see what is not being used, and if I really need it around, does it bring me joy? All of that shit. And then if not, I gotta let it go. I have a storage tub, and 3 big Food Bazaar bags full of clothing that I gotta take to Goodwill somehow.
You don't go to the what's the comedians
Oh,
Denise
the
Mobley does
clothing
it?
swap,
Yeah.
some of it, you know what? I want to be done with it. I wanna take it to a place and drop it off and then say, "No, I'm good. Oh, thank you," and then go away. I don't when I go to the clothing swaps, God bless them, they're great. I
Yeah.
mean, I like the idea of it, of just, like, going through and finding stuff and all, but I already have too much shit. That's why I've got a storage tub and 3 huge bags of stuff. And, um, and I just want to let it go without, like, someone being like, "This was Shalewa's." Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Now I
Like,
feel you.
like, if I wanted to give something to someone, sure. If I'm like, "Oh, do you need these?" Okay. But it's like, I'd rather just give it away and have someone, like, find it and need it and get it.
We're
And,
so different, Shot. This is crazy.
but there's, like, a social element to a clothing swap that I'm not good at. I don't necessarily wanna be in a room full of ladies, like, just kikiing over clothes. Also, because I can't wear most of what's in there.
Right.
I'm one of the few people like, that's why it's a little bit this sounds I don't mean for this to sound like, full of myself or like, big timing or whatever, but there are there's a small amount of plus size stuff.
Right, right.
So, when someone who is plus size decides to get rid of their stuff, it is notable, and you're going to see comics that, like, some people that you wouldn't normally see come out because 'cause they're like, "Oh, someone's getting rid of plus size stuff."
Right.
Um, and so there's that as well, is that I dump off this thing, and the thing with plus size is if you're a straight size, if you're skinny, you can still, "Oh, I'll just get this and taper it," which is an issue, that I have, but, I mean, you can't just say, "Hey, this is only for my fellow fatties. None of you skinny bitches can look at this." You can't do that. So so you just gotta go in there and then have people like it's just it's too personal.
Okay,
I
that's
don't want
real.
I it's yeah, and so I've done it a couple of times, and each time it just felt like such a deal. It felt like such a big deal of just like I remember the first time I came, I had, like, like, duffel bags or stuff, and I brought those in, and those were snatched from me immediately, pulled to the side, and then the people who were running it were already a little bit on the larger side. They went through all that shit first, picked out the good stuff, and then went and put the rest of it out, and I was just like, "What a weird interaction." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I walk out with a shirt that I felt pressured to take with me because they're like, "It's a swap, you gotta take something with you," and I'm like, "I'm not here to collect, I'm here to unload." And so, if I just wanna unload if I'm trying to minimize, I don't want your little shitty shirt. Like, I want somebody else's shitty shirt that I saw at Goodwill that I don't know the history of, and
Right.
you know what I mean? It's too personal for my taste, and I feel like if I wanted to do that, I would, like, have people like, come over and I'd go, "Hey, go through this, see if there's anything you want." But I don't wanna take you know what I mean? I just yeah, I
No,
don't
I'm
know.
with you. Although I
Mhm.
will say, real talk, I think we just stumbled on a TV show.
What? Awkward
Like,
clothing swaps?
yeah, real talk. Have people from
I
like
think they
different
already
towns.
have those, but they just don't show the footage of it, but I think there are plenty of awkward versions of all of this stuff. You know? And I don't I and I'm not like and I'm not shitting on the people who do the clothing swaps.
Nah, it's a dope idea.
It's a
You
great idea,
use
and I
clothing again,
mean
it doesn't go to waste.
right, exactly,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
all
with
for
it.
it, and then whatever's left over, they usually take and they, take to someplace, either they donate it to like, women's shelters
Yeah, I think it's
or
dope.
take the Goodwill or anything like that, and I'm all for that, but, um, I also wanna just donate stuff to a place and then be done with it. I don't I it's an extra step. It's an
Nah, I feel
extra
you.
and I just want it gone, but now I gotta sit here and have, like, a conversation with someone who's just like, "No, I don't want that. Why would I?" That's like me dropping off shit at the Goodwill and then just standing around at the racks while they put my and go, "Yep, that's mine." What? Get out of here.
I love antisocial shop. Real talk, yo. You can tell there's been people in your apartment for a week. Like, I wanted none of these people here. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I will look, when I moved from Atlanta, I had to get rid of a lot of stuff,
Right,
and I had a lot of dresses that were, like, thrift store dresses, and, like, vintage shit that I really wished I could keep, but I didn't know what I was walking into when I got here. I had no job prospects or anything,
right.
barely any savings. I had nothing. I had like, a second cousin who lets me get my mail there, and that's, like, it, and so I was like, "Well, I can't take this with me, but I also can't just pile a whole house worth of stuff in my parents' attic. Like,
Right,
that's not fair either." So let's just get rid of stuff, and so what I did was I let it be known to, uh, some of the other female comics out there who I felt like shared my sensibility
right.
so that they would appreciate the dresses, and I'm like, Hey, there's a show at the I'm gonna have these dresses in my trunk, and if you're at the show, holla at me, and Imma pop the trunk, and you go through and you pick whatever you want." And I had, like, 5 just but I knew them, and they're just like, "Great, oh, yeah, this is great, blah, blah, blah," and that's me, and then I could go home
Right.
and be done with it, and then I heard that for, like, a year and a half, all of the female comics were just in Shalewa dresses on shows. They were like, "It's like you didn't leave because they were in your dresses. Please know they were used." They were
That's awesome.
and so, I'm like, "That's great," and that's like the you know what I mean?
I think
Um,
that's beautiful.
yeah, and but I didn't want anything I couldn't take anything of theirs. I'm not trying to I already have an issue with acquiring shit.
But you wouldn't have wanted people to know they were Shalewa dresses.
What?
The
When?
dresses they took.
No, I mean, the comics knew because they saw the Feeding
They saw you
Frenzy,
with. Right,
and
right.
they'd seen me in it or anything like that, but they were it was a little it felt a little different because I was just like "Look, here are my dresses. If you
Right.
want them, that's great." And then some of them were like, "Yes, absolutely, I do want them." Blah blah blah, and that was fine. But I also wasn't there afterwards in the aftermath to be like, "Oh, so and so's wearing my dress." You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't there, which is in a clothing swap, sometimes it feels like, you are watching people just, like first of all, you're watching people, like, go through stuff and maybe discard it, like, "Nah,"
Right.
and you're like, "Oh." I mean, I did
Yeah, good
love that
times.
once, you know what I mean? So there's that, but it feels there's also just like a you could go in business minded, like, I'm getting things, but
Right.
it's like there's a push on friendship, and that's just bothersome to me.
That's awesome.
Is it? It seems so mean. It's not that I don't want
I
friends, I
really want
just
you to do this on stage, huh?
no. Uh,
It's the reason I'm so like into this is because like I've had this idea for like completely non-economically beneficial project, but I like reading a lot of books.
okay,
My daughter does too. Aiden not as much, but still a bit, and even Gabby. We're house readers. My
okay.
sister reads a lot, etc. Um, I've wanted to get this. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. I wanted to get like a stamp that like said like I read the book
Mhm.
and like just donate every book I've read because like I'm really big on like when I read a book like writing notes into it like it's like a time
Oh,
capsule in the book
okay.
in the sense that like everything I'm reading about I write notes into it. Also as my day goes like I'll write shit next to it.
Mhm.
So like the book is like where I'm at this week. So I
Right.
kind of wanted to like start stamping them and like donating them and like giving them away. With like a stamp that had a hashtag so that when someone else got my book, they could post a picture of like, yo, this book was once one of your books.
I mean, that's very sweet, but that's not necessarily, I think, how people will do it. I
Okay.
I mean, first of all, you have to I mean, who knows? Maybe you could stumble into book talk or whatever. But I feel like people will if they were going to do anything viral with a book that you've donated or put out there, it would be to um blast out all of the annotations that you've put in the book. And then either criticize them or go, "What is this dude on?" Or something like that. It wouldn't
Fair.
just be about, "Hey, look at how this" I unfortunately w don't trust that it would be a positive kind of viral.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
I'm out here believing in people, yo.
Yeah, man, you gotta stop. Not now. In this economy? Uh-uh. No, sir. You
Real
need
talk.
to
It felt like one of the most wholesome ideas I've ever had in
Yes,
my
and
life.
that's the problem. Nobody wants wholesome right now. We're not nobody's making enough money to be wholesome.
That
We
sucks,
are
man.
we are struggling, and I think, it's getting kinda scrappy.
Nah, I feel you.
It might be a little scrappy, and I mean, wholesome could, I mean, wholesome can go viral, absolutely, but you would have to work on that in a big way, whereas
Yeah, I
something
don't want to do that. Admittedly,
Yeah,
I
right,
just
you just wanna put the hashtag out and let it do
yeah,
what
like
it do, but
it'll do
what
what it
it
do.
will do is it'll take that hashtag and then go, "Look at all the dumb shit this dude wrote in his book," and then that is what that's what will happen.
That's a
So,
shame.
it is a shame, but I
Yeah,
mean
that.
but also my question to you, to anyone, who writes in books, aren't you worried about that? Aren't you worried about people, like, knowing what you think?
Nah, I actually think it's cool. I like when I pick up a used. I love used books for that exact same reason. I like hearing
Okay.
what someone else thought. I feel like it's a conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, this person thought this, and I was just reading it, didn't think that. Now I am thinking about that.
Okay.
I love seeing books that have their own highlights,
Right.
all that shit. Like, I love it because it's like I'm getting to read twice. I'm getting to read the book and a random person's thoughts on the book.
Yeah, then don't do that because people would be nefarious with it. They would. I mean, that's not even I really think that's what people would do.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's I mean, like, I feel like that's what I see. I mean, I don't know if that speaks to however my algorithm thinks if it's what I wanna see. I don't necessarily wanna see someone highlight something and then, "Look at this dumb shit." But, because sometimes there are people just like, oh, and they maybe they say it in a much more, literary way of just like, I don't know, open the schools, as opposed to look at this dumb shit. Either way, they say something and then they have a picture of a highlighted text, like from a book where something's been highlighted. And then I read the thing and I'm like, all right, maybe I'm an idiot. I don't really understand what the bad thing is, but your caption that you've given it, your
Yeah.
tweet caption or whatever, makes me think that I'm supposed to be seeing something stupid in what somebody wrote to the side or was highlighting or whatever. And so people can do that to your and there are people who are fucking with folks online a lot. And that's that's to them humor. Trolling,
Right.
I wouldn't want this wholesome project to fall victim to trolling. And it very easily could. It would just be serving it up to trolls.
It's a damn shame, man.
Mhm.
Shut it down.
I'm so sorry.
Oh man. That's a roller coaster up top. Let's get into the news.
Oh yeah, yeah, I guess so. We should.
Cover an article or two here. Kicking us off. Part of the reason why things are so tough outside. Trump
Mhm.
issues mandates on HBCUs, schools, discipline, foreign gifts, and accreditation. That's right. President Donald Trump signed a raft of executive orders on April 23rd aimed at reforming educational policy in the U.S., including mandates that bring more artificial intelligence into K 12 schools and go after wokeology, quote unquote, in the accreditation process of universities. The orders also take aim at foreign gifts to colleges and universities and maintain existing supports for historically black colleges and universities or HBCUs. Some of those things are, let's see here. Uh, he took measures targets the accreditation process for colleges and universities. It calls on the Justice Department and the Educational Department to root out unlawful discrimination and ideology overreach, according to the White House summary. It also threatens accreditors with denial, monitoring, suspension, or termination of accreditation recognition for poor performance or violation of federal civil right laws. Accreditors have also abused their authority by imposing discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) based standards, violating federal law. This executive order builds on the legacy by reforming the accreditation system to prioritize student outcomes, eliminate unlawful discrimination, promote academic freedom and intellectual inquiry, and restore
Wait, stop.
accountability.
All these words are swimming in my head. Hold on. Hold on. My brain is just all I hear is accreditation, accreditation, accreditation. Boo. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so this is another one of his sweeping measures that
Yep.
honestly, hey everyone, kinda don't mean anything unless Congress it's a lot of bullshit, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, he's got he's not playing by rules. Normally in rules, you could be like, "Oh, that's cute," but until there are actual rules that are passed in the ways that they're supposed to, we don't have to do it, but now, he's got a bunch of jackboot duds maybe who just kinda make sure that you do. I don't this all just seems to be, um, for lack of a better way to say it, and this is probably not as informed, as it could be coming from me, but, it looks like anything that's not, like, cis and white, get out of here.
Yeah, it
Is
felt like that.
now okay, because there's a lot and, I mean, this article is extremely long, and it's a whole bunch of stuff where it's breaking down the different orders, but each one like, I'm halfway down the page and it's like, the 7th executive order seeks and I'm like, "What the fuck?" How many like, if he's signing like 50 of these a day, like what is this shit? And
Yo,
it's basically it's like, okay, they want to know about if any foreign monies are coming to US universities, because I'm sure they want to stop that, but it's not like they're going to give any. It's and also this is all stuff, I think Trump is just trying to scare the schools,
yo,
scare the universities. That's what they were doing with Harvard.
real talk.
And Harvard's just like, nah. Did you see recently that what's Linda McMahon, I guess, wrote a letter to Harvard, and Harvard posted the letter after correcting all of the grammatical errors with like a red pen, and then posted the letter with the corrections on it. Like,
No, but that's awesome.
oh my gosh. Let me see if I can Harvard letter. Let me see if I can find this.
Like a few things with this. One, you're trying
Mhm.
to scare Harvard. Um, they literally have like $50 billion in endowment money. Like they don't need you, my G. Um,
Right.
this is working for the record. I think with other universities though, which is scary in general. In particular, HBCUs, they just don't have that kind of money, unfortunately.
Right. But
But
Columbia also. Columbia like capitulated very quickly. Just like, yes, sir." Like,
yeah,
Columbia just went, "Yes, sir," real fast, and Harvard was just like, "No, we're gonna fight this." And, as they should, and they do have a lot of money, but I guess now it's a way of learning, well, how much money comes from the government, because now Trump's like, "Well, then I'll just take away your, tax exempt status, your nonprofit, like,
right,
I'll fuck with the taxes, I'll do whatever." And he's just trying to get all of these places to just be like, "Okay, whatever you say, if you're gonna keep money from us, then we're not gonna." And that's ultimately what I feel like all of these orders are just breaking down the various ways to serve the larger point, which is to scare the universities into, if doing what he wants them to do, or not
right,
even what he wants them to do. That motherfucker don't know anything. But whoever the architects of Project 2025 want them to do.
right.
So
And
that's
yeah, like and
crazy.
related to that, this felt like these orders felt like, yo, how do I stretch out this order in a way that nobody really cares to read what this is? Like I felt like they added a ton of words.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, they're everything that they're throwing at us is to keep us on our heels. Everything that this administration is throwing at us every day is to keep us on our heels, and so that we can't see all of the other little things that's going on. There's just so much, which is why I keep saying, everybody pick 3 things that you're going to keep an eye on, and keep an eye on it for a while. Like,
Yeah,
what are the things you're going to, oh, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on this one and this one and this one, cuz we fuck around with talking about the air traffic controllers for too long, which, don't get me wrong, we should
yeah. Keep an eye
keep
on
an
that.
eye
Word,
on that,
somebody.
please. But then we're gonna miss, we've shifted there, but we're gonna miss whatever is still happening with deportation, where I believe Trump or his administration just said, "Hey, if any of y'all immigrants want to deport yourself, we'll give you like $100." Like, what some shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, huh? It's all, while you're sitting at the Newark airport, go ahead and read some of the other news stories and see what else is happening while you're waiting for planes to maybe fly again.
We in wild times, yo.
Yeah, we are. We are
Real
in
talk.
wild we
You
are
know,
in wild times.
shot like on God. I had like last week we had the 100 days
Right.
video, right? That came out, and it pops up on my Hulu. And when I saw that, like on God, Shy, like my first thought was like, yo, ain't this dude been here like 16 years? Like
It feels
I
like it,
if
right?
I felt like there's no way it's only been 100 days. I like I feel like I've been stressed out over Trump for like a solid decade and a half, yo.
I mean, in a way, you have because Biden Biden's term feels like a blip now
Yeah,
because Trump he came in hot this time.
yeah, yo.
He came in very which don't get me wrong, he came in hot last time, but I mean, like, this is just like a true onslaught and no one it feels like a lot, and I feel like people are like, "Hey, bro, you're really doing too much," and he is adamant on just being like, "I don't care," and so that is what
Real talk. You gonna get more.
so it's really like, "Oh my god," and everyone just keeps going, well, well, that was the Biden administration, and I'm like, Biden, when the fuck was he president? And I'm like, oh shit, that's
Real
right,
talk.
because it just feels like not. Yeah, Trump feels like he's been at us this whole time, even during the Biden's administration, and I don't think that we weren't really given a chance to like come up out of whatever the shit was that we were in when Biden got elected. You know what I mean? We had to
Yeah.
spend like the first half of his term fucking dealing with COVID and all of that other stuff. And then like trying to like pull out of some of the shit that Trump had us in. And then we get Trump right back again. And it wasn't enough. It felt like it wasn't enough time to really kind of get better and rebound and do the things that we needed to do, and now we're in it so hard that it's just and they're really going hard. So, yeah, I understand it. I understand what you mean by,
Real
like,
talk. He doing the most, yo.
he's doing so much.
In other
Mhm.
news,
Mhm.
truck spills, metal shards across an Australian highway.
Ooh.
Hundreds of cars damaged. That's right. Truck spilled 750 kilograms, 1,653 pounds of sharp metal debris across one of Australia's busiest highways, authorities said, forcing the city bound lanes to close, damaging hundreds of vehicles and sparking traffic chaos. New South Wales State Police said the incident occurred on the M1 Pacific motorway in the early hours of Friday morning, leaving over 300 vehicles with tire damage.
Mm.
The M1, a freight and commuter route that runs north of Sydney, remains partially shut as emergency services clear the debris using magnets and working to
Hoover.
hoover up the highway. State Highway Patrol Commander Howard Collins said it would be more than several hours until the motorway could be reopened. It's not just a case of getting a road sweeper out or guys and girls with brooms. We are using some magnetic devices. We are removing embedded metal in the highway itself. It takes a long time.
Yeah, you can't get someone out there with just a Swiffer?
Yeah, you can tell he's frustrated,
Yeah,
yo.
he's like, "Hey, look, it's not like we got kids out here with brooms, okay? This is serious shit. It's gonna take
Real
a
talk,
minute.
yo.
Y'all keep
And
driving over it, fucking up your tires and pushing it into the ground. Come on now."
that dude been answering people one by one on the highway. He tight, yo. He like, I told the last guy, all right?
Listen, everybody, listen up. I ain't gonna say this again.
Yo, Howard, I feel for you, all right?
Oh,
Uh,
man.
Around 300 vehicles have been impacted, maybe more, but by what now we know is over 700, maybe 750 kilograms of metal debris from the back of a truck, which spread this total debris over 30 kilometers. Jesus Christ, yo.
Okay.
Real
Look, here's my question. Here's
How
my
you drop that
question.
shit over 30 kilometers, yo? Like,
No,
that was some Salt Bay metal drop off?
why is there a truck carrying metal debris? Where's he coming from? Where's he going to? Like what's the debris?
Yeah,
Where is it from?
real talk, B. Those are all the staples I've lost in my life.
Like, yeah,
Okay.
because I'm like, debris means it's not just like a thing that's assembled. Do you know what I mean? Or
Right.
parts that need to be assembled. It's not parts for a thing. It is cast-offs. It's the trash. It's whatever needed to be made was made, and now here's the debris. Why? But then again, what else are you supposed to do with it? But like,
You gotta go somewhere.
where is it from?
Hey, truck driver 46 is cooperating with the inquiries. NJ Ashton, the haulage company that owned the truck involved, apologized for the incident and said it was helping with cleanup efforts. We're taking full responsibility for what's happened and are very sorry for any damage and disruption that's been caused. We still don't fully understand how this occurred.
Oh Lord, no one know nothing. Did a squirrel run out? Like, what happened?
You see, there was a door, and the door wasn't closed. And we didn't notice it was closed for 30 kilometers. Yep.
Oh,
I know that's about half hour of driving.
Is it real? Is that a long time?
It's got, I figured a kilometer, how much is that? Like half a mile to a mile?
Child, I don't know. Let's see.
That's gotta be like 15, 20 minutes on the road.
km to miles. KM to miles.
30 kilometers.
Oh, okay. 1 kilometer is not quite a mile. Yeah, you're right. It's like 0.6.
Yeah, so like you driving 18, 20 miles. And like if you driving a truck that big, you ain't pumping, you can't be doing more than 60, 70 miles an hour.
No, yeah, you can't be zipping through.
Yeah. So that's a solid 20 minutes. You was just dropping.
Okay, let's see here. 30 kilometers is 18 miles. Yep, 18 and a half miles.
So and he dropped 1,600 pounds. Over 18 miles, yo. Like, that's not light.
And it's embedded. They need magnets. It's embedded. They gotta dig it out of the highway.
Yo,
oh, Lord.
If you drop that's 88 pounds per mile you was dropping. Yo, you didn't feel that? You dropped the person every fucking mile? You kicked the whole teenager out of your car every mile for 18 miles and didn't feel that shit. That's crazy.
Probably not, because you still had a bunch of yeah, that's a lot. That's still a lot,
B.
So how much were they already carrying? We only know how much dropped. How much were they carrying total?
1,600 pounds got dropped, Sha.
That's what I'm saying. That's what got dropped, but how much were they carrying in total?
Sha, neither one of my kids weigh 160 pounds. If 10 of my kids get off any car, the car, like, it gets higher. Like, it literally elevates.
Yeah, but I'm saying that is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
That's wild.
But that is still just a portion of what was on the truck.
I feel you. But
so
I gotta push back here, yo. If there's a,
I'm just saying,
if there was 1/10
you probably towards the end, you probably felt it, but early on, you're probably like, "What's that noise?" Do you know what I mean?
And also, maybe there's honking. You know what I mean? You dropping shards of metal for 20 miles. Nobody's like, "Yo."
I mean, it may
on the busiest highway in Sydney. Real talk. Kangaroos is coming out like, "Yo, my G, I can't hop over here because of you. You killing me."
Look, I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just saying it probably took him a little while because I feel like he probably had a lot in that truck, and that there's, it's a gradual thing. It's not just like a dump. Like if there's so much in there, you may not feel the first 3 people that are thrown off.
I feel okay. I give you that.
You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So, like, yeah, it's gonna take him. It's gonna take him a minute.
Yo, 20 minutes. 20 minutes it took this dude. Real talk, yo. There was people honking at homeboy for a solid 10. He was like, "Nah, that's not me."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was going to take a sound cue. He wasn't going to feel it from the weight. It was going to take a sound cue. He was going to need somebody driving by going, "Roll down your window. Pull over." He's going to need that.
Oh my goodness. That is insane work right there, yo. If you would like to sign up for my new safe driving course, okay? Real talk. All I do is teach you how it feels to be one of 10 people to get kicked off of my car.
He's just gonna yell at you and throw like bodies at you, CPR dummies. He's just gonna, how's that feel?
Does that feel like something you should notice? Yeah? Good. You're ready. Go drive in Sydney.
Oh my
I know a guy that just got fired, all right? They're looking for people. All you got to do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't know what 1,600 pounds feels like, okay? 5 stars, you shouldn't know because it's too damn much. And you should feel that noticeably when it falls off of your car. Real talk. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm just real. I feel like I'm not crazy. No, you know what?
What?
This is how I know I'm not wild.
Okay.
A Toyota Camry.
Okay.
Weighs 3,200 pounds. Okay, this dude has 6 Toyota Camrys fall off of his truck.
Wait, hold on. 3,200. No.
No?
He had like half a Camry.
He had half a Toyota Camry fall off of his truck. I don't know math, all right? But you know what?
You've just been throwing numbers at us.
I'm just throwing numbers.
Okay, okay.
But I know that's a lot. All right? Somebody drop half a car off, you feel that.
Yes. But if it's gradually, look, it's the frog that's sitting in a pot, not realizing that the water is boiling until it's too hot, until someone honks at him and says, "Hey, frog, you're dying in this." They're making soup. And that's basically what happened, I think.
Yo, 1,600 pounds is wild. And also, real talk, if you drive in a truck full of metal shards, I feel like you should be more alert.
I feel like that's what I'm like, why aren't you on a back road?
Yeah.
Although that could fuck up things more. But I mean, like, being on the interstate is
I'm gonna get there fast, so don't worry about it, B.
Oh my gosh.
Is
there no cover? How do you keep that closed? I really want to know how the accident happened.
Like that, I'm stumped because, like, is it like an open top where like every bump, some of it came out?
That's what I'm picturing, like an old school fucking dump truck that just has netting over it. It's just a pile of shards. You know, like is it enclosed? Like, because the thing is, if it's enclosed, he'd have to like jackknife for the trailer to like break for all of those shards to come out.
Right.
That's one way. Or if it's the old school dump truck with just netting over it, maybe the back flap came down or the netting wasn't enough, whatever. It's just every bump, just shit is just, because if he's driving for 30 miles, no, what was it? 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers, yeah.
Yeah, 18 miles. Like he's gone a ways. He's gone a ways. No. So I feel like it had to be a gradual thing. And that's why he didn't feel it, because it was just like with each bump, there's another. Haven't you been on the side of a truck that's like something's coming out the back and you're like, I don't think he knows that's happening. And he's not, he's just singing along and people are like trying to honk. Like, I feel like that's what happened.
Bro, that dude was singing his loudest. Hey, he was having a good day, yo.
Yeah, well.
Yo, if this was your partner, would you console them when they get home? Bro, if I did this shit, Gabby would yell at me like, what the fuck was you doing?
Yeah, I would have so many questions as to how it happened.
Yeah.
And we're not going to sleep until we find out.
Real talk, you make decisions in this house.
Yeah,
like, I can't have you. Nah, B.
Yeah, I need to know exactly what happened. Like,
Gabby won't trust me with the kids no more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the police know. I guess that's the thing of the story. I feel like the police knows. I feel like the company I think they all know, and they're just like, because they don't want to say that my man was singing along to Taylor Swift or some shit, or he dropped food down on the.
Soon as that shit happened, they're like, yo, Tommy was on that. Tommy, damn, B. Oh, yo.
Like, yeah, I feel that's what happened is, yeah. Somebody dropped a fry and was trying to get down to the bottom.
Real talk.
And
this is a nepotism hire. I promise. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo. We're at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to sweet Aaron Anderson, FCBLJ, Lori McDaniel, Dana Ford, and he doing too much. With all that said, I am the admittedly that last contributor to the articles is also a descriptor of the person that was driving that truck. Okay. He is doing too much. Okay. I am the worst case scenario, getting a CDL license because I know of a new job opening. Gastor Almonte.
Sure.
Real talk. With the, accuse me of believing too much in people, but turns out she believes too much in this driver. Shalewa Sharpe.
That's not it. I just think it's a gradual fuck up and not so sudden of a fuck up. That's all.
Real
I'm
talk.
saying we're both saying he fucked up. We're just saying he did it in different ways.
It's all right. It's your faith in people is in a different place than mine. That's all it is, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to a clothing swap with this guy, but I could see how he might miss a couple of pounds of debris before it really catches his eye.
Oh my God. This has been thankfully and continuously a remote recording of the War Report. Oh man. Catch y'all next time. Peace.